How's it going? So, you're a person. I imagine if you're watching this, some cats and dogs maybe a bird, a lizard here and there. But if you're a person, it means you have free will. You might not always use it, but you definitely got it. So today, well, done a bunch of stuff today already, but made an art piece earlier, framed one that I made the other day. But we all have free will. My question to you is, what have you done with it today? Are you aware that you have free will? Are you? Sometimes it's scary to think about because it's a lot of responsibility. Knowing that you made your choices, that you're responsible for the outcome of your life, that you're responsible for your interactions with other people. It's scary, but that fear can easily be transformed into excitement. You know, everything is a trade-off here. So, again, free will means you can do whatever the F you want. So, definitely not here telling you what to do. Just saying, I wonder if people are aware that they have free will. I wonder if people are aware that they can do whatever they want. So, I have this house, right? I have a mortgage on it, so I could basically do whatever I want with the land. Even though part of a HOA and, they have rules and regulations, but whatever. Free will. Humans have laws. We still have free will. I know I'm saying a bunch of nothing, but if you think about it, everything's a bunch of nothing. Your job is a bunch of nothing. Your sickness is a bunch of nothing. Your health is a bunch of nothing. So usually when I get to talking, I wind up getting too far or too deep. And when you get too far or too deep, you lose reference, and then everything starts to feel shallow. Like, okay, so everything is everything and nothing is nothing. So what am I doing? Well, what am I doing? Exercising free will. If I know that I'm an eternal being and I'm just going to exist forever, I might as well express that there's something that I would like to do or I think is cool or interesting. I might just do it. I still got a job, got responsibilities, got children, got bills, but also got life. I'm alive. know? And to me, it's pretty cool that I'm actually alive. I think it's quite amazing. Like, it should be impossible that we're here. If you're a science person, just the odds of all this happening, it's impossible. Also, if you're a science person, you also know that impossible doesn't really mean anything, because we don't know what's beyond our minds. We don't know if we each have a mind. We don't know if we really exist, according to science. You know? If you're a spiritual person, then you're already in the soup. Same with religious people. But everything's catching up. You'll know in your lifetime that everything is everything. As soon as human beings claim to discover something else, you know, they'll separate it from the truth that everything is everything. And they'll say, oh, this is that thing. This is the only thing that's not part of everything, because this is the actual truth or whatever. So a whole new paradigm will start. And people will even look at science like it's something strange. Which it is. Is everything strange? So yeah. I like to practice my free will by creating. I guess it's called creating art. I like to use the body that has been appointed to me for this life. Make sure I'm getting the most out of it. Make sure I'm taking care of it. Make sure I'm enjoying it. So right now, I'm doing a walkway. Well, continuing the walkway. I did the front of the house. I got this much done. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not an expert photographer, cameraman. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Wait, no. There. So I'm here. I'm gonna continue all the way around the house. Okay, I don't have a tripod or anything, so you guys are leaning up against the stairs. If anybody's watching, that cat or whatever. So, the reason why I'm recording this is because the singularity, which to me is when everything goes back to, not really goes back to source, but reclaims itself. So everything becomes one again. So social media, I feel, you know, is a big part of that, like everything else. But this is a way to connect it faster, you know, wider. Somebody from a different planet can be watching this right now. It's possible. So the more ideas, the more thoughts of other people that exist, that are connected and united and spread, or the closer we get to that unity, singularity, when the similarities become undeniable. You know, even if you look throughout the world, with people being more multilingual than they ever have been, People have always been multilingual but not always, because a lot of times civilizations were closed off to one another. But now that things are open, we have translation, we have people learning, and soon, I believe that there's going to be a what do you call it? An era of peace sometime soon, because it's going to come to a point where people are going to realize that they're just fighting with themselves. They're just going to get sick and tired of it. Of course, in an eternal reality, there is no end to anything. So, any part of spirit that wants to separate itself from the whole can do so and fight with themselves or everybody else if they want. But the thing is, you can't affect somebody else's reality without their permission. It is impossible. That's free will. Now, people are saying, oh, what about these people doing that? These people doing that? Yes, I didn't say you can't interact with people. I didn't say you can't do things to people. But reality is perception. And a lot of people can't wrap their heads around this. But you all heard about, turn the other cheek, right? You heard about it, turn the other cheek? People are like, oh, well, I'm not. Yeah, that's your choice. That's your choice, and that's what changes your perception of reality. The way that, the way that you choose to perceive things and the way that you react to things creates your reality. And no one else has the power to do that. If somebody comes up to me right now and whacks me over the head with a hammer, I have a choice of how I'm going to react to the outcomes of that situation. Because if you really look at it, something is going to test you and your resolve and your way of thinking forever. Even if somebody didn't do that, whack me over the head with a hammer, there could have been tornado, hurricane, hail fell out of the sky. I whacked myself in the head with a hammer on accident, So, anyway, that being said, we are in control of our perceptions, our reality, because reality is only perception. It's only what you think and what you think that you feel, and then how you react to that. That's how you live your life out. And everybody has a right to feel however the hell they want about it. They could be pissed off, they could be happy, they could be indifferent, whatever it is. However, it's still a choice. Always a choice. All right. So now, there's a lot of work into it. I forgot how much work this is. Good. So, I think I'm gonna just maybe I'll do the series, working on this walkway, and then see if I'm still on my path to do this. double that. Double that and give it to the next person. Yeah, so anyway, I got all these rocks from the woods around my house. It's very woodsy and mountainous. So there are a lot of rocks. Not all of them are conducive to making walkways, but pretty good at finding ones that fit, or just making them fit. And I do want it to have some kind of a personality, so they don't have to be perfect. I like it when I have little spaces or whatnot, then I could fill those with like smaller rocks. Or I've been getting some pebbles from like Home Depot. Oh, those are nice rocks, nice and light. I wanted to keep it more towards what I could find around here, but I'm not that kind of person that feels that the systems that are in place are always against us, or that they are unnecessary, or that they're harmful, or whatever. No, because at the end of the day, everything is natural. Not anything that you'll encounter in your life did not come from the earth, did not come from reality. Might be rearranged, flipped upside down, but it's all natural. Sorry to tell you. It might not interact with your body or your nervous system the right way, and again, that might just be for you. Like, for instance, I quit smoking a while ago, probably like 5 years ago now, 5-6 years ago maybe. And I know people have been smoking forever, and it has no effect on them. But for me, it was killing me. I could feel it. My lungs were hurting, felt tired, it was bothering my teeth. It was just not good for me. I was not getting any benefit out of it. So I stopped. And again, I don't have anything against people who smoke. Let them do them. Let everybody find what's right for them, because everything is right for everybody, and everything is wrong for everybody. And the reason I was smoking is I first got into smoking, how a lot of people got into things, and that was to fit in. And I'm not really a person who does things to fit in. Like, I had very, very few friends growing up by choice. I'd be approached by people, and I just wasn't feeling the whole herd mentality kind of thing. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't for me. I just couldn't pretend to laugh and pretend to be interested in these things that I was clearly not interested in. But I didn't hate nobody for it. I didn't tell nobody that they shouldn't be doing it. That was them. This is me. But again, we're all the same. So eventually, you have to learn, or you don't have to learn, it just will happen, that we are all the same. So your likes, your dislikes, your opinions, all that shit don't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Because you are going to come face to face with everything that you do like, everything that you don't like, just everything. And you have the choice to deny it or accept it. But you don't have to be in a rush to do that because we're eternal. You get that choice every moment to deny or accept anything that's coming into your reality. And, ultimately, it doesn't matter. So why am I talking? Because I exist. Why are you watching? Or why are you about to swipe away? Because you exist. And you make your choices. So, me, most of my life, I felt like I've been observing. Just like a being inside automaton, like a self-animating machine. And I was just observing, like, this thing go, like, move through time. And felt like, and I still feel like I am that kid, not necessarily a kid, but that being that was residing within that child. Just still watching, seeing what's going down. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back and forth because I never really had a plan for anything. Somebody tells you that they have a plan for everything, they're wrong, or their plan is to make a plan when their plans change. So anyway, I'm gonna go back and forth. So I said that I got a mortgage on this house, you know, so I quote unquote own the house. But even when I was renting, I always found a way to make the space quote unquote my own. Meaning, you know, make it feel more like who I am. So, you know, expression, you know, when they say expressing yourself. And you can do that. If you're renting, living with other people, you know, your parents, roommates, whatever. If you still feel inclined, you know. Everybody says, not everybody, a lot of people that I know say, oh, well, I'm not creative. As well, it's your choice, but we're all creative. We're creation. Everything you do is creative. You have a conversation with somebody, you just created thoughts and ideas, you know. And note about creation is there's nothing new under the sun. So even the people who are creating are not really creating. They're just reconstructing, reorganizing things that already exist, you know, and that's the way that reality works. We're a body, and then the body expires, and all these parts of it, the nutrients, minerals, elements, blah, 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 get recycled into something else. You'll be dirt or ash. That dirt or ash will be part of the soil. Plants will get the nutrients out of that, and this and that, and all those parts will be used again. Nothing will be wasted. Same thing with the earth. People say, oh, we got to save the earth. The earth doesn't need saving. Some people might, but the earth doesn't really care. We could set off a gazillion bombs and destroy all of our housing and infrastructure, our air, all that stuff. And the earth will just recycle it all. Radiation, earth doesn't care. Pollution, earth doesn't care. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, too much oxygen, too little oxygen. For humans, the earth does not care. It does what it does, and it will continue. So people might want to look at themselves and say, what do I need to exist here? How would I like my world to be or not? You know? Choice. So even while I'm sitting here and I'm talking, I have no clue what's going on. No clue what's going on. So, yammering on, and I totally even forgot where I was. Totally forgotten that I have things that I'm going to do, like go to my 9 to 5. Ants love this. Okay. So, are you a creative person? And if you're not quote unquote creative, like if you don't do art or build stuff or whatever, you're still doing something. What is it that you use your free will for? Is it just to go to a 9 to 5 and watch TV, and scroll? Is that what you use it for? No problem if that is. Just wondering. You know? Now that, you know, I've been an adult for a while, instead of just looking at everybody and saying, whoa, they're a sheep. Well, I didn't know sheep back then when I was a kid. I called it, what do I call it? Not groups. I don't know. But yeah, I acknowledge that everybody's just a person, and they're just living off of what they know. Like, if they grew up with football and hot dogs, and that's their path, football and hot dogs, I'm good. And if they found their people, their football and hot dog people, it's even better for them. I like that. I'm not a football and hot dog person. I can be if I chose to be. But that would feel to me as if I wasn't being authentic. That's another thing. Authenticity. There really is no such thing as being authentic. Where, like I said, if I grew up with something, then I don't know what from my childhood and my adult experiences exactly shaped what I find to represent me or the expression of me. So now I just, like I have been and everyone else does, pick and choose what I feel is me. And I already know, I already understand that everyone is me and I am everyone. However, I also understand that I'm an eternal being, and in order for me to exist, there has to be separation for a reflection. So I have to pick and choose. I have to pick a path. And even if I feel like I don't pick a path, the choices that I've already picked are going to keep going forever. So even if I feel like I didn't choose, I still chose the wave that I'm riding. And you know, I choose to enjoy it. And my hopes is that even when I choose something, that the denial of the other is just not too strong or boastful, or, you know, because I believe that humans, you know, these beings can exist separately and differently and in a peaceful state. It's once beings start trying to force other beings to be like them, you know, to bring the singularity, is when things start getting messy, you know. But again, the messiness as well is required. So if there's a guy who likes peace, guess what? There has to be a guy who likes war. If there's a guy who likes to be nice, there has to be a guy who's a straight up dickhead. And that's just the way infinity and eternity works. Your favorite number might be 7, but guess what? All of the other numbers still exist and always will. But you can stay there looking at that 7, that's fine. All right, so, hey, if you think I'm saying a whole bunch of nothing, let me know. If there's a topic that you'd like me to discuss, you know, let me know. Because I am possibly trying to find my tribe in this iteration of life. I've always felt super duper alone, not necessarily lonely. I've had my moments of being lonely and depressed, but once I realized, you know, that it was my choice if I was lonely, you know, it quickly subsides. Oh man, this is choices right here. Do I leave that open? Well, let's see if I find one that cheap. But yeah, if anybody's listening to this, just want you to know that I'm grateful that you stuck around. I'm probably gonna stop it soon because I have no idea how long my camera is gonna record, and I have no idea if I'm even gonna be able to upload this. So I might just be talking to myself like I usually do. But anyway, I want you to say, no matter what's going on, I think every day is a blessing and a beautiful day. So enjoy.